The industry is unforgiving. That's always been a cause for concern and something we've understood. However, it doesn't make it any easier when airlines struggle and eventually are given no other option but to file for either bankruptcy or bankruptcy protection, or even enter into a restructuring agreement. In the case of Garuda Indonesia, in the past week, they've done this very thing. A reminder to check out the second channel, Globetrotting, for aviation analysis. We just published our first ever video. Garuda Indonesia requested that the New York courts recognize the airline's debt restructuring under the Chapter 15 bankruptcy code earlier in the week, as per their chief executive speaking to Reuters. Garuda has been out of money for a significant period, however they've continued to tumble along slowly and steadily. Through filing their debt restructuring deal, they're hoping to halve their losses, or debt rather, to the region of USD 5 billion. This should very quickly indicate to you just how bad it has gotten at Garuda Indonesia, and why there is such a cause for concern at the company. They believe, though, that they'll be capable of turning it around. Of course, though, they need their restructuring plan to be approved, something that has received a few objections in the Supreme Court from none other than companies in Australia. As part of their general restructuring plan, the airline is eyeing heavy cuts across the board, from the types of seats it will be offering on its services, and of course its route network. The likelihood of specific international destinations being removed is very, very high, as the carrier shifts its focus for the short term on its domestic network as it does attempt to recover. In what is best being described as the wrong business model, it was a matter of when, I think, not if, Garuda would run into the position that they've found themselves in now. They've been unprofitable for a while. That's why I generally think, albeit unfortunate, it doesn't really come as a shock to see the position that they've found themselves in. Restructuring is often lengthy, but Garuda has the ambition of becoming profitable again by only next year, the 2023 calendar year. They say that their domestic market is robust enough to be sustainable just by flying the routes again on this domestic network. Another further hint from one of their executives that their international network will primarily be put on the chopping board as they explore other means of serving customers, with the likelihood of code sharing being that method very high, as a means that passengers can still explore the world from Indonesia, but just not specifically on Garuda's aircraft, which will probably be grounded. The airline does have future aircraft orders awaiting delivery, but in this case, deals will likely be struck with the respective aircraft manufacturers to see orders partly cancelled and or delivery slots pushed back. This will allow Garuda the adequate time they need to recover. At the same time, we'll be wishing Garuda all the best here as a community. It's always important to mention, though, just as much as an airline can pull through in the restructuring, it's entirely possible also that the restructuring deal simply doesn't come off exactly how they wanted and doesn't sort the airline's fortunes out. Like I mentioned, I'll be keeping a close eye on them here on the channel and continue to update you on their progression, as hopefully we see them very soon emerge from this state of bankruptcy, if you will. Thanks for watching, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next time.